legendary Jordan Maxwell. Jordan has spent well over half a century trying to bring the truth of the occult side of contemporary and ancient history, that means the hidden side, to all of you who are interested enough to avail yourself of Jordan's wonderful materials. Welcome back, J.M. How are you?
Well, thank you, Jeff. I'm still here, and
that's my line.
I'm happy to be with you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So,
How are you?
It's a real
wonder.
Here. It's a real wonder we're still here, but maybe the Spirit has something in mind.
The Spirit, the other side of that coin is the controllers know they have time on their side. They're not in any hurry. They'll just wait till this generation fades away, and the next generation, this youngest generation, is absolutely frightening. They are, and now there are exceptions, folks, and for you families out there who are doing a good job with your kids, bless you, all of you. But the general majority, and I don't want to call them sheep anymore because they're far more dangerous than sheep, because they have some evil in them that has been imbued by the mass media, and they are capable of damn near anything. Lying now is absolutely expected. There is no morality, and if you're trying to talk to many of these young people about morality and values and integrity, not only do they laugh at you, but they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You're right. You're right. They just they stare at you with this glaze in their eyes, as if, what in the world are you? What do those words mean? They have no idea
Restraint,
what
responsibility, accountability. Ha ha! Boy,
what is
dumb.
that?
Yeah. No, that's true.
So. And you're right. That's the way the masters have always operated, as they look at the older people, leave them alone. They're going to be gone soon. Get the children, get the kids, and get them into school. Make them go to our schools. And we will decide what it is they will learn and how they will learn and what they will read and what they can read. And by the time the parents figure out what's going on, they'll be in an old folks' home and they'll be gone soon. And so I've heard that, many years ago. People would write about that, and the communists were talking about that too. How, if you're not gonna change the old people. But it's all right. Get the children in school. The old ones will be gone soon enough. Who the hell cares? They'll be gone. And then, like the Jesuits say, give me a child till he's 7 years old and he's mine forever. So They know that they can mold the child's mind right in front of the parent. The parent has no idea what's going on. And one day you wake up and it's too late. Your kid's on drugs, or he's a criminal, or whatever, and it's just too late.
What's amazing, Jordan, is that too late comes and goes at a very early age now, and the parents are oblivious to it. The children are taken by the media. Even if the parents are ever vigilant at home, they go over to their friend's house, and at 5 and 6, and so they're looking at porn. And once you put those images in the mind of a child, childhood is gone forever. It's gone.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
That's the end of it, and it's a tragedy, because the most golden time of life, as this species can experience it, of course, is childhood. And, you look at the quotes here. Vladimir Lenin, all right, you alluded to one of them earlier. This is a little different version of it, but he says, give me 4 years to teach the children, and the seed I have sown will never be uprooted. And he's right.
Yep. Unfortunately, he is right. It's true.
Yeah.
And because children depend on the adults to teach them.
Yes, of course. They look at it's just like they're taught to depend on doctors to heal them. They're disempowered every step of the way. They're not supposed to think empowerment or individual achievement or the fact that they can really change their destiny much. It's quite a remarkable paradigm. The goal of socialism is communism. There's another one from Lenin. Nothing could be more correct.
Well, of course. I mean, socialism is the basis for communism. You're not going to have communism unless you get socialism first. And once you get the people understanding and going, and being in compliance with the whole socialist idea that there's nobody of any importance anywhere in the world. It's only the state is important. That's what Lenin said. That's what communism teaches. Only the government and the collective is important. Nobody else, no individual. We're not looking for the uncommon man, the great inventor and the great musician and all the individuals, the Nikolai Teslas and Royal Rife and Albert Einstein. Well, the hell with all that. We don't need all that. All you need is people to work for, create wealth for the masters. And so they promote the idea of everybody being the same. We all look the same. We all dress the same. We go to the same movies. And basically, we're all the same. There's nobody better than anyone else. Nobody's smarter than anyone else. And like George Carlin said, to make sure that works, we just keep dumbing down the kids until one day we're all dumb together. And nobody knows from crap about nothing. And so then you've got a great workforce. And they're not going to argue or badmouth you or do anything because they don't know how to do anything. All they know is they just depend on you for their job and do their job and go home, and that's all they know. And then you give them entertainment and alcohol on every corner. Like
they when we were kids, we all wanted to be cool. Okay, we all wanted to be in, but the peer pressure we were under then is nothing to what these kids now literally grow up to expect and interact with. We had another little girl last week who committed suicide from online bullying. This happens all too often. The lust that the young people are literally programmed to have toward fitting in is utterly frightening. Orwell would get it in a second. They want to be in so badly that uniqueness is a curse. They don't want to be different. They think they're different with their piercings, their tattoos, but it's all crap. It's eyewash.
Yep. I mean, that's exactly the problem, is that people think that they're being different by spiked hairs and doing all the lunacy that kids will do to stand out and be different. But ultimately, it's the intellectual, spiritual part of the human that divides him from his fellow man. And so, it was the Nikolai Teslas and the Albert Einsteins, the people who use their mind to create and to lead the way for the human race to follow. But nobody's doing that today. We don't need that. We got Obama and we got George Bush Jr., and so we don't need any great people. Like I said, the uncommon man.
There are no great people. No, there. This is all a cult. I'd say culture, but it's more of a cult of celebrity now. If you've got media time, if you're exposed on the media somehow to the masses, you have it. You are God. You're a demigod. Right. And that's what people yearn for. They want that exposure. They'll do it. That's why, you see, the people who created Facebook and MySpace and the other social media knew that this yearning for celebrity was now being put into the hands of the masses.
Of course. That's exactly what it is. Now you can be somebody. And while you're being somebody on Facebook, never realizing the people who put this together and people who are organizing these social medias all work for government, CIA, NSA, USIA, all these secret organizations for intelligence in America. That's what's behind all of this stuff. And now they know what you look like. They know who your friends are. They have your phone numbers and your address. They know how you think. And they know the people who think Jordan, like you.
They don't even have to do any work because the idiots put it up on Facebook.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And they know who your friends are, too. Yeah. They got pictures of them. So it's all quite a story, and I don't know where it's all going to go. Between you and I, my question is, whoever it is, and this is just a philosophical question, but whoever it is that's actually gave us, life, whoever it is that created us, what are the powers in heaven thinking and looking at what's going on the earth? I mean, do we have anything coming to help and to protect the human family? I
don't see it. No, the common denominator is plummeting. This is going to go down all the way out into this vortex, and eventually it'll come out the other side. Where that is, I don't know. The pendulum historically swings, but we aren't even close to being at the bottom yet. They are.
No.
The only thing we're lacking is, and we've had snuff films for years and years, but the only thing we're lacking is truly the Roman arena. And that would not surprise me at all if they were paying these people to go, reality TV, pay somebody $1 million to fight to the death. They do it.
Well, I mean, what is this cage fighting and martial arts?
That's the same. It's right there. It's right there. And that's another thing. Sports and sports teams basically are urban or regional armies. This is warfare. Our army is going to fight your army. It's called a football game or a basketball game. Right. We're going to fight you, and we're going to kick your butt. Okay? It's all about sanitizing war combat in such a way that it is acceptable as a sports venue. I mean, this is really amazing to watch. It just is.
Well, I know. Yeah, of course it is. And then when hunters go out looking to kill deer or whatever, they call that big game hunting.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
They're going out to hunt game.
Right.
So,
all right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a game.
Yeah, it is a game. All right,
let
George.
the games begin.
The games have begun. You know, it's really fascinating, Jordan, and I don't know when you first read Edgar Cayce or about Edgar Cayce. Probably the Jet Stern book, Edgar Cayce, The Sleeping Prophet. That was the one I grabbed.
Yeah.
And the readings that he gave, which dealt with Atlantis, which of course came as a complete surprise to him, that there was an ancient civilization here. And it had to do with understanding the message from the readings. And what Cayce was saying in his unconscious state is that the Atlanteans went too far when they began to mix man and beast. It's called genetic manipulation. That's exactly what he said. That was the final straw that took them down when they began to play God. And can you even imagine, ladies and gentlemen, what they are doing behind closed doors with unlimited funds, messing with genetics and creating new animals? Think about chupacabras. They either came from AET or they were something that was created here and got away or was released. There are a lot of things like this going on. They're doing head transplants. They've been doing that for a long time. You don't hear about it, though. But anyway, the point is, it's this definite parallel with Atlantis, according to Cayce.
And there's no doubt in my mind that that's what's going on today. And I've heard stories from people, doctors and professional people in South America, tell me about things that have been found in the temples from probably 1,000 years ago or more of half animal, half human figures and figurines.
Oh, exactly. They weren't necessarily mythical. I think some of them were, in fact, evidence of real things that went on way back. We know that the technology to build the monuments in Egypt was far in advance of anything that the Egyptian government or the Antiquities Bureau will admit to.
Oh, heavens, yes. And I've been to Egypt 3 times. I've been through the pyramids, and especially the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's just ludicrous on the face of it to imply that humans built that. I mean, it is quite literally foolish in polite company to talk about humans building that pyramid.
Right.
Because when you go inside the thing and see those stones which are used, and some of them, I'm just guessing because it's been years since I've been there, but maybe 20, 25 feet long, 8 foot square, 12 to 1,300 tons a piece, and they're all up and down the Grand Gallery and across the ceiling, 12 to 1,400 tons a piece. And they're all up and down the Grand Gallery.
Bunch of guys with block and tackle lifted them up.
Yeah, of course, that's all it was. Just got a bunch of slaves in there with a whip.
Bronze Age chisels and mallets. Yeah.
Incredible. And probably that's another thing. The one thing that really shocked me when I was in Egypt is to see in the temples, everywhere you go, the stones in the temples are flawlessly true, squared. and the surface is like a mirror surface. You're looking at these stones, and you can see your reflection like in a mirror, because it's absolutely flawlessly true, and smooth as silk. You run your hand over it, and it's like a mirror. You're running your hand over a pane of glass. It's so flawlessly true, and so you can rub it clean, and then the dust off, and you can see your face in it. That's how mirror surface these stones are. You don't get that with a chisel, and I don't know how you do it, but you don't get it with a chisel and a bunch of slaves out there banging away on chisels. And so, anyone who's really studied the pyramid, and especially the Great Pyramid, knows that there's a big story here that's never been told. And then when you find out Michael Cremo's work and others like him showing that there's been human artifacts, or at least intelligently created artifacts on the Earth, down inside the Earth in strata, which is 3.5 billion years old. And we're finding handmade artifacts, 3.5 billion year old strata. What does that tell you about
the geology then is unquestionably that old, and what I've seen are those little, you mentioned the little round spheres.
Yeah,
we've talked about these.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a perfectly carved, it's like an equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. It's like a replication of a sphere, a planet, with those three meridians put on it. It's amazing. Now, they've also found in formations of coal, for example, you may remember this. I've forgotten how old it is. I think it was bituminous coal. They were mining, cracked one open, a piece, and inside was a perfect gold bracelet with linked little circles of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah. And if I recall, it was said that the little links of gold was so small, so tiny, and they were flawlessly done, but they're tiny. You have to, really stare at them with a magnifying glass to see how beautifully they were woven together in this chain. But they were tiny, extremely small. And have you seen that pictures of you in Russia that they found in I think it was I'm not sure where it was in Russia, but they found these electrical gold, looks like gold or copper electrical units, thousands of feet down. They found an incredible.
I don't know if I have. It sounds familiar, but if you have them,
I'll email you the pictures.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to email you the pictures. It's just a mind trip.
The history of this planet is so amazing. What's amazing is how easily it is all kept hidden. They just deny it. Hide it and deny. That's it. Doesn't exist.
Just move on. It has nothing to do with anything important. Yeah. But the whole subject, you can go on the web. Anybody can go on the web. The whole subject is called out-of-place artifacts. Just type that in Google, and image. Go to image and then type in out-of-place artifacts. And look at the thousands of strange things that have been found under the earth, and incredible stuff. Thousands of feet down in the ground, you're finding handmade artifacts from civilizations that we don't even know even existed.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right. We got to take a break. That's one of the real fun things about this business. We do get to look at it thanks to people like Michael Cremo, who have done the research and what they found in California, in gold mines, remarkable things, just in digging into a hill, what they found. And it's all there, and, it amuses me when people say, well, look at this civilization. Even if people were to die, it would be here in 1 million years. Wrong. Totally wrong. Nature reclaims, the planet recycles things. It would just go away.
It always has, has.
Okay, hang on a second. Back with all of you great folks and our friend Jordan in just a couple.